The theme for September is Love Out Loud. Today's topic is Love Thy Neighbor. Dr. Ernest Holmes writes, "We are one with the whole and one with each other. With love, all things are possible. Our prayers are answered, and the gifts of heaven is made." The theme of love, thy neighbor, runs through the world faith traditions. Here's a sample of some of them. Christianity and Judaism. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Confucianism. Not feeling compassion for a stranger is like not feeling the heat when one's foot has caught on fire. Hinduism. When a person responds to the joys and sorrows of others as if they were his own, he has attained the highest state of spiritual union. In Islam, showing kindness to parents and to kindred and orphans and the needy, and to the neighbor that is a kinsman and the neighbor that is a stranger, and the companion by your side, and the wayfarer and those whom your right hand possesses. Let us affirm together with passion. I see every being as a divine expression of love. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce again Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson.
Thank you for that graphic, Dan. It's just a reminder that word human means divine. It actually means divine. I don't remember the details, but I know Eugene, whenever he's here, reminds us that it refers to our divinity. And so how beautiful to look at the various ways that people show up in their spiritual expressions, and yet we are all one. So, love thy neighbor. Have you contemplated what that means to you? I think that statement from the Quran says it so beautifully, because it really reminds us that there really are no strangers, that there really are simply our neighbors everywhere. Maybe people we haven't met yet, but everyone on this entire planet is our neighbor. And I love that awareness, because it reminds me that no matter what our differences are, and those can be differences in gender, they can be differences in political perspectives, it can be differences in sexual orientation, in ethnicity, you can just go on and on and on. Different experiences in life, and yet everyone is our neighbor. So when we make the statement, love your neighbor, it takes on a whole new connotation. It's not just the people next door, it's the entire planet. So opening our hearts to be as wide as and expansive as the world. And when we do our final, our prayer at the end of service, we talk about all-inclusive love. This is all-inclusive love that we're talking about here. A cosmic heart of the divine that resides within us in expression. And so with this beautiful understanding then, we symbolize that with something that's called the Oneness symbol. I actually have a piece of jewelry that is the Oneness symbol on today, and we have it on our altar cloth, and I didn't put on my stole today, but it's on my stole as well as the Science of Mind magazine. It's the altar cloth. It was covered. All right. It is right there. And Dan put it up as well. So you can see it's this beautiful co-creative way of putting a lot of the symbols of the different world faiths into one piece of artwork. So you can probably see the Star of David and the cross, the yin-yang, the Buddhist symbol, and there is the Islamic or Muslim moon with with a star. So it's and there's an ankh in there as well. So the idea is to remind us that there are many paths, one God. Many paths, one God. We are one. So with that in mind, I would like to remind us that we are in the season of interfaith, intercultural celebration. And we do this every year. We've been doing this since we've started. It runs from September through December. This is something celebrated by all New Thought communities all over the planet. This particular focus is to remind us of our oneness with all people and no matter what our differences are. And so how beautiful and fitting that we would have a guest here today to help to kick off this entire season of interfaith, intercultural celebration from the Sufi tradition. Our beloved friend, who's been here before, she was with us at Woodmill some time ago, Sheika Yasmin Haut. Is that how you pronounce your last name? Haut? Yeah. Oh, right, I did it. And anyway, she's here today, and so I would like to, all of us, if you would put your hands up in blessing. We're going to do a blessing. And you know what, Yasmin, are you okay with standing in the center so you can, so let's have her stand in the center so that she can receive from all of us. Beautiful. And so repeat after me. Yasmin, we know who you are in truth.
Yasmin, we know who you are in truth.
The brilliance of the one mind.
Brilliance of the one mind.
The compassion of the one love.
Compassion of the one love.
The creativity of the one creative genius.
The creativity of the one creative genius.
We open our hearts to you in love.
We open our hearts to you in love.
We open our ears to you in curiosity.
We open our ears to you in curiosity.
Thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Let's hold her in our hearts and in our minds and in our being and accept this beautiful gift that she's offering us with a powerful yes. And so it is. Okay, Yasmin.
Damn, don't Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So am I on, Dan?
And you know what? I want to just mention.
Yeah.
So I think Dan is going to take over down here, right? So that
you got it covered.
Okay, great. All right. So and then we'd like you to join us, Deb. So if you'd like to come over in one of the seats, you're welcome to do it.
Say, we
Deb is covering the photo. I said the whole covered.
Oh, okay, got it. All right.
I won't do anything.
I will go sit down and close my mouth.
Do you play by ear? If you wanted to play, you could, but okay. So thank you all so much. And I was wondering if anyone has a tissue. I would love to use a tissue right now if anybody has one. Yeah, we got one coming out right now.
They're wrinkly, but they're clean.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm here from Camp Hill, which is right across the river from Harrisburg. I don't know if any of you know the area. But I left this morning without my tissues, and especially on a morning so glorious.
Could you go in the center?
And cold, chilly like this one, my nose is going to be running, so thank you. Great, kids are here. So I thought what we do is thank you, I see there are other tissues in the circle, I'm okay right now, thank you. I thought what we do to start with is we'll start with movement. Okay, I know you're really eager to move, I've heard about that. And the movement is very subtle. And if you can't move, you certainly can sing from the edges, or you could come to the center. I think we'll have a big enough circle that we could accommodate someone in the middle. But before we do that, let's I have a rough outline, and I want to look at the time, but let's start breathing together, as that's something you're very familiar with. And as we're doing that, I'll introduce the rest of what we're going to be doing together. So we feel the breath come in, we feel the breath go out. This seems to be a basic teaching from many of the world's great traditions. Almost every tradition that I've had the privilege of studying uses breath. So, excuse me. So one of my teachers, who I'll mention to you a little bit more later, but realized that we can take this message of unity, lay it on our breath, notice the rise and the fall. Everything rises, everything falls. Maybe we can place a sacred phrase on our breath now and see how that vibration evokes something in us that's more than me individually. When I join with someone else, just give me your hand for a moment. When I join with someone else, it's not just me anymore and them, right? There's something new that happens that wouldn't happen if we are not in relationship. If you're a psychologist or a social worker or somebody like that, you'll know that's what happened to us during COVID. Partly we separated from others and we didn't have the same capacity to relate the way we will be able to do now here. And that could have instigated some changes to our vagal nerves, our heart patterns, our capacities. We can take the plug that we all have and plug it back in now and reach those frequencies that have been coming at us through this time. Or we can put that connector in our pocket and still be alone and with just ourselves. And I feel that these dances are one way to celebrate being with each other. So let's just feel the breath rising and fall. And realize that breath and movement are two things that come pretty easily to us as human beings. So when you're ready, and I hope you will do this, I'd like you to use your breath and your steps to join me as we start to build a circle here. You all have seriously informed this space and transformed it. Let's see if there's even more we can do by attuning our breath and our movement to each other. So please be courageous. Come on in and walk with me. We're just going to be walking in a circle as though it were a meditation, like a Buddhist practice. Maybe some of you know that. That's okay. And then music arises out of nowhere, right? So use your breath and your footsteps. Feel this room holding you, the floor supporting you. See if you can imagine the earth holding you, like a mother's arms. Gravity is holding you here. We're all being held by this loving presence that we take for granted so often through our days. But right now, see if you can tune into that. Feel the sensation of breathing and moving together. Notice there are people in front of you. There are people behind you. Maybe there are people to your right and your left, and as you approach them, you might start to have some kind of feeling energetically of joining. We're going to build a circle. When you come to someone who's holding hands, take their hand. Then, Caroline, you'll take a hand. Little by little, don't worry about it until someone who's part of this little snake comes by you, then take their hand. That's it. We want to see each other and be seen. Take a hand. There you go, take a hand. There you go. Take a hand. Little by little, building it with breath and with presence. Something that's a little bigger than I might have been when I was by myself. Okay, we're gonna make it here. I've done this many times. Want to join me? You can watch. Okay, little by little, keep that circle going. You know what beautiful woman that you're guiding back to her chair. So whatever works for you. Keep moving, friends. If you don't move, we're not going to do it. Keep moving. Maybe you can uncross your arms and hold their two hands. Just like that. There you go. Little work. Breathe. Feel the breath of the earth holding you. Feel yourself joining, not just spiritually, but physically. With one string right now, I hope. And keep moving. Right, I'm going to move it to a dance. You've got a good thing going. Beautiful. Maybe the end of the circle goes this way. Just keep moving, keep moving. Open the circle. Imagine someone in the center of the circle with like a balloon and it's getting a little more back. Wide. Okay. This, now with me, I'm going to teach you a chant from the Jewish tradition of Shana. Happy New Year. We're going to go like this. Keep playing that music. Big wide circle. Shema Israel. Listen, my people. Shema. Whenever you hear the sound shh in any of the Middle Eastern traditions in a chant, we're hearing the sound that people connected with back in the Abrahamic tradition. This vibrating possibility you're all talking about, this oneness, this unity, this God, divine form. Whenever you hear that sound, shh, that's what we're referencing here. Listen, Israel, which is my people. Listen, my people. The Lord your God is one. The Lord your God is one, the one in the many. So for the first part of this dance, we're just going to bring our hands behind our ears, and we're going to walk just a couple of steps in this line of direction. So just watch me. We're going to go, Shema, just watch, Israel. Then we're just going to raise up like we're invoking with this all that is inside of us from this beautiful day. Shema Israel, Adonai, Eloheinu. So you'll either turn or stand facing the center. Then you're going to put your hands on the shoulders of the person or the back. You know, if they're some of these tall people, bring your hands down to their waist. So you feel your unity. Shema Echad. So we're tuning into this reality that we're bigger than our individuality when we join together. So I think I'll just do it without the piano this time, okay? Okay, so we're going to walk this direction using this mudra. How many of you are yogis? Anybody a yogi here? Yeah, okay. So we have these things you can do with your hands that might create a channel, might be a way of plugging in. So we're going to go stepping with the right foot, moving this way. Shema Israel. Now this time we reach up and just turn, invoking Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai, face the center. Eloheinu, all names for this quality, this divine. All different names. They oftentimes have that L or Al sound in them in the Middle East. And then we're just going to feel our unity as we kind of sidestep to the right. Adonai Echad. All names of one God. The one in the many, the one unifier holding each other. Adonai Echad. Hands behind the ears. Here we go. We're going to walk. Shema. Shema Israel. Reach up, turn, or just reach up. Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Elohei. Hands on the shoulders next to you. Adonai Echad. Hands behind the ears. Shema. Shema. Walk in the line of direction. Israel. Adonai. Turning. Great. Eloheinu. Adonai. Hands behind the ears. Let's walk. Shema. Shema. Listen. Israel. Adonai. Reaching up. Adonai. Elohim. Hands on shoulders. Adonai. Echad. Walking. Shema. I think I lost the microphone. Shema Israel. Reach up. Eloheinu. Adonai. Echad. All harmonies are welcome, by the way. Hands behind the ears. Shema, beautiful. Israel. Reach up. Adonai. Eloheinu. Adonai. We'll do it about 3 more times. Pour yourself into it. Shema, how do you listen deeply? Israel. Harmonies are welcome. Turning, reaching up. Adonai. Eloheinu. Adonai. Echad. No words, just movement now. You're bringing your hands behind your ears. Listening deeply. Listen for the message of unity. It's everywhere. Reach up and turn. Adonai Eloheinu, the one in the many. There's only one. Hands on shoulders. Adonai Echad. One. Unity. Just the source. All this. One more time. Hands behind the ears. We'll do it one time silently. Keep walking. And we'll do it again. Singing. Reach up, turn. Supplicating, asking, receiving. And then hands on shoulders, feeling each other. We're going to do it one more time, singing. Echad. Here we go. Shema Israel. Reaching up. Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Now at the end, we'd let ourselves feel into any way we may have adjusted or changed the atmosphere. Maybe yes, maybe no. It's not a contest. It's just an observation. And then we, like the fist of a potter into the clay that we are, we kind of use that to strengthen from the inside out who we are, how we're going to be in the world, okay? All right. Excellent. So you've done the dances of universal peace now. Anybody have questions or thoughts they want to offer? We're going to do a couple more dances and let's just do it. All right. Take this off again very gently. There we go. Still have the thing in my ear. Okay. So from the, I'm kind of inclined to go right to the Christian tradition, so I'm going to do that, even though I was going to do something Hindu. So in, I'm trying to be sensitive to the camera, so in, don't worry about it. Okay. So one of my major teachers is a Sufi by training, and I can talk about Sufism, but I'd rather experience it rather than talk about it. So one of my teachers has done a lot of study in the Christian tradition, and he has, he's quite a linguist and also a mystic. He's gone back to the languages that Jesus spoke, which is Aramaic, which I see some of you nodding. Jesus didn't speak Greek. He certainly didn't speak Latin. So the teachings that he gave us were rooted in a language that is really rich with metaphors, and it's not really based on Aristotelian logic. It's not so much a question of what is yes and what is no, but rather I heard you saying this morning, about joy and happiness. Well, you know what? When we're in a place of the present moment, and a vast space, pain and suffering get absorbed in joy and happiness. We can be big enough that all of that can be present, and we can still be at peace. So, if Jesus, here's one little piece that I like a lot. If Jesus, when he answered the question of his friends, Master, how do you want us to pray? When you're gone, what do you want us to do? He said the words Beshameh, if what's reported in the canonical books of the Bible are true. He said Beshameh in Aramaic. And they translated Beshameh as pray in my name. And Shem is not a bad translation, Beshemeh, for a person's personal name. Your name is your vibratory realm, right? It's kind of someone, someday, imagined you being a physical form, and they really worked on a name for you, and you were bestowed with this name. So Shem is pretty good. A good translation of Shem is name. But what might be more appropriate is, Jesus said, the way I want you to pray when I'm gone, he said, create this Shem, this atmosphere that you've enjoyed when you're with me. I'm not going to be here, but you can do it too. Create that atmosphere of love and acceptance and possibility in your communities, in your family, in your environment. And that will be the key to peace. My presence. So that's what you're doing all the time here, friends. It's what we do when we remember. And we are very forgetful creatures, aren't we? So the Lord's Prayer is a study of mine. I've done a lot of work through my teacher's teachings. Just step in a little bit so your arms aren't all stretched out. You got that, Dan? Okay. So The Lord's Prayer in Aramaic has been a study of mine for a very long time. And I'm going to introduce to you the first line of the Lord's Prayer, the way, if it was said by Jesus, out in the countryside, he said it in this language. He said, Abun deba Shemaya. Abun is the word for father, mother. It's ungendered. Take note. It's ungendered. Abun, and it has this feeling of breath and creativity. Abun deba Shemaya. Abun deba Shemaya. So that's the line that usually gets translated, Our Father who art in heaven. It's really more maybe something like, O birther, Abun deba Shemaya, who is the creatrix or the source of this vibratory realm of courage, possibility, of things we haven't even imagined yet. Abun deba Shemaya. Oh, birther, father, mother of the cosmos. So let's say that together. Abun deba Shemaya. Beautiful. So that's all you need. I will do a counter melody once the melody is established, once you get it. And I'm going to be chanting words that represent unity from the Middle East. So like Allah, that's what Jesus would have said when he was referring to the source, or God, Allah. Allah, of course, is Arabic. Elohim, we just sang that, the one and the many, that would be Hebrew. And Elat, E-L-A-T is the transliteration, would be the Canaanite, the goddess tradition, which was very engaged around the time of Jesus, by the way. So you don't have to worry about those words. I'll be chanting them, okay? So we're going to kind of bow into the heart for the last part of that. So it's nothing big and dramatic. It's just like really acknowledging your heart and back up. We're going to step to the right and kind of, it's kind of like we're inscribing an arc with our heart. We're really just activating our heart. So it would look like this. Abun deba Shemaya. Abun deba Shema, stepping right. Abun deba, dip into the heart. Shema, to the right. Abun deba Shema, Amin. Okay, for the sake of your hips, and is anybody a chiropractor here? Oh well, so we're going to move to the right for a while, and then we'll move to the left, just so that you don't go out with your hips all out of alignment, okay? All right, stay. You, stay. There. Yeah, is that what it is? Okay, here we go. Oh, I didn't give you the melody. You'll pick it up. Okay, you're good. You're really singers. I love that. Okay, so we breathe, we attune ourselves to the space that we've created so far. Co-creation. It wouldn't happen if it was just one of us here, right? This is because you are, both as individuals and as groups. So stepping right together into the heart. Stepping right together into the heart. Stepping right together into the heart. Stepping right. Now here comes the melody. It's going to go like this. Abun deba Shemaya. 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 There it is. Abun deba Shemaya. Harvest what you've created. Let the experience be like the fist of a potter into the clay that we are, making us bigger from the inside out. That's what peace is. We become so vast that the little ripples, the little pebbles, or the big boulders into the ocean of our being are just accommodated. Release your hands down slowly. You feel yourself made bigger, more capable, more courageous. And for this, we are grateful. Amen. So I had about 8 more dances I was going to do, but we're not. But there are dances that we do from the Native American, from the Hindu, from the Buddhist, from the Christian, Zoroastrian traditions, and they all kind of, to me, they give me like a little bit of a taste of what might have been, when you use sacred phrase like that, what might have been the taste, the smell, what whoever that prophet or teacher was, what they were experiencing, their best attempt to share it. They laid on what was sacred, their breath. And then in the dances of universal peace, we lay that sacred phrase in our being in meditation for some period of time. And sometime, movements start to develop from it. That's what the dances are. The song you sang, I Open My Eyes to You, not I Open My Eyes, I Love Myself So Much. We do that in a circle all the time. Let me show you really fast, just really fast. Everybody get into one circle. Yep. So you remember the song, you know the song, I love myself so much that I can live. Okay. All right, now here's the hardest thing in the dance. Face a partner. It doesn't have to be your life partner. It's nobody you're making a commitment to. You're just facing a partner. Just do it for a minute. Everybody needs to, here's the trick. Look, you don't have to talk. Raise your hand if you don't have a partner. Raise your hand if you don't have a partner. Look at that. That's wonderful. Here, you can come here. You can, hello, here. Nope, it always works out because the leader can always go in the middle. There you go. Everybody has a partner now, right? So, who needs a partner? Helen needs a partner. Okay, I'm Helen's partner. Okay, so look over your partner's shoulder. Me and Helen are going to just do this together. But look over your partner's shoulder. See the person coming toward you in the circle? Come over here a little bit. That's going to be your second partner. And then you're going to proceed like that. So you look over your partner's shoulder, and the person coming toward you is going to be your second partner, okay? So, let's see.